Okay.
Yeah, we'll start. Let's start the podcast.
Yeah.
Finally, yeah.
Yes.
The day has come finally to start.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this also for a very long time. His 30 minutes are proper African 30 minutes.
Yeah. So to the ladies out there, I take my time.
Nice,
Yep,
nice,
yep,
nice.
yep.
No, this is self-advertising, you know, everything.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah,
To all my beautiful black queens,
Yeah,
I am
it's
single.
just too sad that no
Yes.
one's gonna listen to this. I have a feeling we're just doing this for ourselves, you know. It's just,
That's
So
good
it's
enough.
nice
That's
to-
good enough.
As I said, it's a nice hobby to have.
no, I don't mind. At least
spend
like,
some pastime, you know. It's nice time. It's a nice way to spend some time with your friends.
well, at least
Yes.
now
Quality time.
we have proof for all the bullshit that we say, so that when at some point someone denies saying something stupid, we can get. back
I
to the
never
proof.
deny. Yeah, I say stupid things all the time,
Yeah, you do.
and I own
you
it.
do, You do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Yeah. So welcome to It's a Liquor Talking. We are your hosts. I'm Brian.
Yours truly, Jakub.
Here you got your boy Faris.
We have a fourth, significantly lovelier host. She's called Stephanie. She will join us later.
Yeah, sure.
Later at
Yes,
some point.
yes.
Yeah.
Later episodes, hopefully. I can't look at Faris this whole time. Like I need. Yeah,
What you're gonna be looking at me anyways?
I'll be looking at Stephanie.
How do you know? At some point, you'd have to look at me throughout the conversation.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
As much as you won't like it, it's inevitable.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
and come on, I'm sure like the best decision you guys ever made was having you on this podcast.
It is. It is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was
because-
telling Jakub like it's. Yeah.
Thank you.
It
Actually,
is.
I was gonna roast him, but after him actually agreeing to this, I'm just
We
just
need
gonna.
some-
Why would you
I'm gonna
roast
keep
me?
it-
That's
Like
mean.
we need some like down to earth people as well. You know, we can't just be me and Brian agreeing all the time and thinking the exact same thing while we're about to say it. So we needed some other.
Yeah. He's been
Another voice.
actually he's been talking to me about this, and he goes like, imagine just me and Jakub having a podcast. He's like, the whole podcast would be like, oh yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, imagine two people like really nice voices. So we thought let's add Faris. Let's add some contrast.
Yeah.
Some contrast
I
to this.
agree.
Yes.
So people can actually look at the podcast and go like, ah, fuck, I hate this guy. It's like his voice is so annoying.
Every TV show needs a villain.
Exactly,
And,
exactly, that's true. Because both of them cannot be lovely, you know. At this point, you just
Yes.
you
Yes.
lose track
very
of.
true.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that you have someone you hate is what makes you watch
It wakes me up in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
And- and
Faris.
I know it,
I'm gonna kill this guy.
it
Yeah.
makes you watch
Yeah.
it just to despise this person.
It does.
So today's drink is. I'll actually let you guys do the speaking.
Since it's gin and we have our residents.
Thank you, thank you,
drinker here,
thank you.
Brian,
Yes.
I'll let you introduce the bottle here.
So we're having Gordon's gin with some tonic and lemon. Now, for those of you who don't know, gin is unofficially Kenya's national drink.
No, really?
Yes.
Why unofficial? What's the official one?
No, I mean, it's not like in the fucking national anthem. like we drink gin. Yeah, but like we really love our gin.
Okay.
And coming back here, I said, I need to introduce these guys. It's like proper gin.
Yes, we love you for
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
We appreciate gin.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You know, I'm older than these two, so I feel like it's my duty
Yes.
to mentor them, to show
He's young
them,
at heart.
show them the way in life.
Brian, can you please, if you're not embarrassed about your age, can you please share your age with the audience?
And I think that's classified information.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, this is why I asked you. I didn't want to.
I'm not embarrassed. It's just, I don't know.
You
Yeah.
just go
It's
on
private,
Twitter
it's
and you
private.
can see his date of birth.
Yeah, he's at. What was your at again? I don't
At,
actually remember.
Brian
Actually, I
underscore
keep
Mina
getting
or something like
confused,
this.
man. There's this billboard about the Baggins, and I just.
That's one of the best names you'll ever see on Twitter.
Well, Bob, that Baggins.
Yes, because I'm about the bag.
I just got it. Oh my god.
Yeah. It never amazes me how slow you are.
You get used to it. You get used to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Imagine being in my shoes. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It'd be like people would say a joke, and then 10 minutes later, it'd be like, this is what he
And then
said
he starts
that.
the
Yeah,
proper
but at least you
laugh.
have like pockets of laughter throughout your day. You can just be
yeah,
sitting
actually,
there,
that's
it's like you
It's
save
like-
your
like
laughter
saves
for
them all.
later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
It's pretty
Actually-
economical.
Talking about Twitter and like stuff like that. Actually, I don't regret at all going back to Twitter because
You're welcome. You're welcome.
even though the fact that I just follow you and
Yes,
it's
yes.
literally just your retweets and your replies on my feed,
Yeah.
man, it cracks me up. It really cracks me up. Like,
You know, I've been telling these guys for the longest. Twitter is literally like the best place on the internet. I spent the whole week just laughing.
yeah, it's
Like, it's been super funny this week.
It's getting advertised.
He's advertising.
Paid for Twitter.
Paid
He
for
is
advertising.
He is
for Twitter.
advertising Twitter, yeah.
It's really funny. It's really funny.
It's crazy. And even when we started, we came to start the Instagram account of It's the Liquor Talking.
Yeah.
He was so against Instagram. He's like, Instagram is a stupid.
Well, I wasn't against Instagram. I was just like, I'm not gonna post anything there. Like, that's not my job.
Yeah, it's
So
funny
we delegated
how he's.
for this.
Yeah, well, I'm not taking care of it at all.
Let's say it's a group effort.
It's not my job.
Yeah, I just replied to Stephanie on the.
Yeah, about that, man. It's that account is just for business, proper business.
Just
Yeah, but
business.
she's
So if
included-
any girls DM, please keep it professional.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
As I know, I'm a true professional.
I'll direct them to your private account.
Yes,
just
yes.
tell her to, like,
Directly.
you know, if you wanna have a chat, hit me up on this is my private account.
Yeah,
And
he
then
can
we
share his
the
wisdom since
conversation
he's
can
the
go on
oldest.
from there.
I am.
Yeah.
Jakub, you had a funny story to tell us.
Yeah. So I was talking to my parents today,
Yeah.
and because Ireland right now is in like a kind of a lockdown,
Yeah.
so places that don't sell like essential items are supposed to be closed. Shops like this, but they recently opened this like electronics store called Harvey Norman,
Okay.
which sells various small electronics plus house appliances like fridges and all this.
Mhm.
And then they had like a section of Christmas items, and all they did is just block it off because those Christmas items are non-essential items right now. So you have a shop that's open, but
And
a
selling
part of the store is
electronics.
closed, selling electronics, but part of the store is closed because there's Christmas items there because they're non-essential.
What kind of Christmas items are?
I don't
home
know,
appliances?
tinsel,
Like
or,
lights.
those what are they called? Those round ball things you put on.
Yeah.
Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Wait, so you
This kind
can
of
you
shit.
can enter the store and buy stuff,
Yeah.
except if it's Christmas
Yeah, the
themed.
Christmas item.
That's where they draw the line.
You can't buy because it's non-essential.
Because COVID really goes after the holidays.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess. Yeah.
It's like COVID here. You know, it only comes out after 10 p.m.
It's
Have you actually seen the little kid who sent an email to the prime minister, the Italian prime minister,
no.
asking him to give an autocertificazione for the
To give a what?
to give him a permission
Yeah.
to give a permission for Bob Natale. I don't know how to say this in English. Actually, I forgot.
what's his-
For Christmas.
No,
Yeah,
Bob Natale is
Santa
Claus.
Santa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so to give him a permission in order to.
To come to Italy, yeah, from Lapland, yeah, all the way from the north.
That
I
is
was like,
cute.
please
But-
allow him to move around.
As adorable as that is, I always wonder, like, why do white people tell their kids about Santa Claus? Just to, like, find out later in their lives it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, actually, speaking of this,
As a resident white man
I-
here, can you tell us?
my parents used to do the Santa Claus thing. I don't know.
You used to
once-
believe in Santa?
for a while, but then I got a bit
Oh my
like, when
God.
I was around 8 or 9, I got a bit suspicious.
It took you until 9.
And my back in that year, my grandmother was with us in Ireland, so I decided to stay up. You know, kind of. I was pretending to sleep. At some point in the night, I just see my grandmother walking in, like leaving some presents. I was like, okay. Well, that's
Were
the-
all your hopes and dreams
Santa-
crushed?
that's
Santa has a
Santa
familiar
just-
figure.
This is like a villain
I
origin
I see
story.
what Santa Claus now. I see that my grandmother is a very busy person around the Santa Claus time. You know, she has to bring me presents, you presents, everyone in the world presents.
Oh, you thought your grandma takes presents to everyone?
No, I'm just saying right
Oh,
now. Like,
oh,
as
okay.
Oh.
It would have
like-
been so funny.
If that's a conclusion you drew. So Santa is in jail, but it's my grandma.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, at some point, I didn't tell my parents I did this.
Yeah.
So maybe for another like few years they pretended they're Santa Claus.
Okay.
But after a while they were like, I think they just decided, you know, this kid is
Is-
too
is
old
o-
now.
is old
so he
enough.
probably
It's
knows
like
that
14.
Santa Claus isn't real.
Yeah.
So they didn't bother doing. They just like, okay, here's a present. It's from because of Santa Claus, you know. But
Yeah,
they gave it to me. But anyway, like so in Poland, Santa Claus is on or Saint Nicholas as Santa Claus is Saint Nicholas.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we usually celebrate it on the 6th of December, I think.
Mm.
So you'd give your kids something small, you know, like some chocolate or something. It doesn't really matter because then you have Christmas itself.
But to be honest, I think that actually making your kids believe in Santa Claus is a nice thing, because if you think about it, okay, so Christmas is it's a sacred vacation. It's like a time where everyone is looking forward to. Am I right? It's like you're technically doing nothing. You're chill. You're enjoying with the family and stuff like that. So just associating a gift to the kids, okay, with this period of time, with Christmas, makes them look forward for it. Makes them join the.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but
Yeah,
you see, my parents are African. They're Kenyan.
Yeah.
So there's no way in hell they're buying us gifts and they tell us it's come from someone else.
This
came from me.
I just want to remind you that your brother ratted you out and your parents know.
Yes. Hi, mom and dad. Welcome to our podcast. Yes.
Yeah.
You have your first son to thank for this.
What do you mean first son to thank for this? You mean for finding out?
Yes, for finding out,
For ratting out.
Yes. That's okay. We've kept it pretty PG.
Well, at least we attempt to keep it PG.
Yes.
No,
we're gentlemen after all,
What happens afterwards is it's
when
the
we're
liquor
halfway
talking anyway.
when we're halfway through the bottle.
Halfway through the bottle, it's everything will be blamed on the liquor. It is in the end. It's the liquor talking.
Yeah, we should probably introduce ourselves a bit. You mentioned Ireland and Poland. I'm sure listeners are very confused. But your heritage, a very mixed heritage.
I should start now. So I'm originally Polish. So are my parents, as you both know already. However, when I was young, due to the Polish economy really not being any good, it's trash. We moved out for a search of better life.
Yeah.
So now I'm basically half Irish, half Polish.
All right.
That's the
That explains your very in between accent.
Yeah, apparently Brian tells me I have a half mixed accent.
Yeah, it's like slightly Irish, like very slight.
Yeah,
it's like putting a little lemon in your drink.
I guess if you listen to my R specifically, like when I say country, car,
butter,
or the THs that you mentioned one day,
yes,
like theater.
Theater.
Apparently, it comes out.
Actually, talking about Ireland and all that, like just a few before starting recording our podcast, have you ever knew that there's actually an Irish language?
Yeah, Gaelic.
Yeah, I never knew, man. Yeah, I never knew. It was mind blowing.
Because you're dumb. That's.
Yeah. Speaking of Irish, we have the English. I'm not gonna say the curse word, but those English cunts basically blame for all of this colonization that they have been doing all around the world.
Oh, trust me, we all suffer from English colonization.
It's like they couldn't keep the Irish alone because they were right beside them. They're a fucking easy target to just go there and plow through everything and be like, you're gonna use English now, fuck your language.
Well, why do you think I speak English?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Kenyan, Faris is Egyptian, so we've all suffered at the hands of the English cunts.
You're talking to actually we're 3 victims sitting on this.
Yeah. Should start a support group. Yeah.
Oh, we blame all of you English people, basically.
Yes.
All of your queens and kings and all of your armies.
Yeah.
Colonization is not nice. Well, it is. It's not nice. However,
it's not nice.
It's not nice. It's really cruel.
It's a bit of an understatement.
However, if you look at it from there's only one good point about it.
Okay.
It is, in the end, the language brings us all together here. Because we can speak a common tongue. Yeah?
So without getting colonized, the 3 of us probably wouldn't have met.
Of course we could speak English, but like if they didn't come and colonize all these countries, it wouldn't be as prominent. English definitely wouldn't be as prominent as it is these days.
Yeah, man, but who cares? I think
I would have been happy at home.
Sure.
And I also think things would have resolved themselves. As like if people didn't find a common language like English, like they wouldn't just be like, shit, we just won't communicate.
Yeah, we just won't go anywhere. We'll just stay in the house.
So what? We learn Mandarin or something?
Why not?
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
if you look at even like in Kenya, for instance, so we have like 40-ish tribes, and like each tribe has a different language. But even before we were colonized, they chose like a common language, like when it came to trading and shit, and that was Swahili.
Yeah,
that's why you speak Swahili.
Yeah.
So there are already 40 different languages, but naturally they came up with, or they like unofficially agreed upon one language that you know to use. So similarly, in the world, I think we would have eventually got here
Yeah, exactly.
without the
Sure, but
the
now
death
like
and then the slavery.
it'd be hard to bring like all of the countries together and try to see which language would suit the most for most of the world to speak, or to try to talk to each other. Yeah, because you had Portuguese colonies, Spanish colonies, English colonies, Dutch colonies,
And the French.
French colonies. So how, like, because of all of these colonies, you'd have a lot of all of these languages that I just mentioned are very prominent in the world.
Yeah.
Like, look at South America. Most of it is Spanish and Portuguese because of the colonies.
Yeah.
So if every country had, like you said, Swahili is basically it's
But it's
an
not just
official-
Kenyan though, because even Sudan, Somalia, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Congo.
all use Swahili as a like
Yeah,
official-
they'll
So basically
speak
talking about
Swahili.
East Africa.
Yeah, so Eastern
Yeah.
Africa plus Congo. Congo is like Central Africa. It's fucking huge.
Yeah, but
So-
then now like
Even South Africa, I think they passed a law recently, a few years back, to include Swahili into like one of
the
their
only
languages.
problem I see is like fine, you can have countries that agree on a language, but when it comes to communicating with other continents,
I mean, like, but all three of us, we're used to being multilingual, yeah.
yeah,
And like, it's not, we speak two languages comfortably,
true.
and we're adding like a third or fourth, like here and there. Like, it's not that difficult.
Mm.
Yeah.
True.
No, actually, I actually think it's difficult. Like, okay, so considering that, like in my case, I'm speaking Arabic
Yeah.
and English, and I consider both of them as my first language. You get
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
But then right now I'm studying Italian. Okay, so having like three languages that are completely different from each other in every way possible is kind of a mindfuck if you would ask
Yeah,
me.
yeah, no, I agree with you because, like, so I speak English and Swahili fluently,
Exactly,
and then now I have French, some
Exactly.
French, and also learning Italian. So sometimes, like, someone speaks to me in Italian, and I cycle through all the languages. I'm like, I know, io, me, we, like, I just say everything.
I
yeah.
get you.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Like, remember,
And the frustrating thing is you understand what they're saying because, like, for most people, like, understanding is like the first part of the language. But when it comes to speaking, like, there's just so many things in your head.
yeah,
Like,
but
so many different
sometimes
languages.
you just give up. Like, remember when we were in Syracuse and then the waiter came to us and he was Egyptian. Okay, I don't think you
Yeah.
know about
Oh,
this
this
story.
guy, yeah.
Yeah, so he was
Yeah.
Egyptian, and then,
Yeah.
like I was asking about the flavors of granita that he has, and then he starts mentioning all of them. But you know how, like, for example, you have like, let's say, I forgot the flavors of the granita. What do we have? Like, let's say pesca bianca, fragola, and then like between them you say or. But in Italian you say
Yeah.
o. Okay?
Oh, so it was like gelling. It was
but
mashing.
what he was saying- Yeah.
yeah.
So he was saying or in the Egyptian dialect, okay, and like
Wait, what language is he speaking?
he's speaking Italian. With
So he's saying the names
In
in
Italian,
Italian, but you're
yes.
saying
Or in Arabic.
Oh my god.
because it's very similar. It's
Yeah.
au. It's au.
Yeah.
You get me? So
Oh,
I got-
oh,
yeah,
Swahili
yeah.
as
So
well,
it's
yeah.
like, but like I caught it and I was like, I immediately started talking to him in Arabic. He was shocked. He stopped. He continued talking in Italian and looked at me and goes like, cosa? And then I repeated again what they said in
Yeah.
Arabic. And he goes like, and then we just had like
Yeah.
like
That's
a
cool.
long ass conversation.
But at least like because of this, I got to taste a very nice.
Yeah, I remember.
Exactly. I'll give you a
But,
special one.
There was with rum, right?
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
the
Oh.
granita with the rum. Yeah.
And it's off the menu, so it's like I
Oof,
think
oof,
not everyone
very
knows about
special.
it.
It's like,
very
it's like some
special.
special treatment. Like I remember
Yeah.
talking to him for at least like 5 minutes, man. It took so long. Like just trying to order. It just-
Yeah, but you know, you're speaking about this ore, okay?
yeah.
And it's I don't find myself doing this when I list like flavors. I just go like strawberry. We have strawberry, chocolate, pistachio, this and this. I don't use or in between the flavors.
Yeah, I get you, but I'm just talking like I mentioned this specifically.
Yeah, I think
to-
in English it's a bit odd. Like to
Yeah,
say
true,
or
true,
after.
true,
Yeah.
But you see, if in Italian it wouldn't be that odd.
Yeah.
No, I
Set
actually
odd.
think also in Italian it's all
Really?
just the fact that he's a foreigner. This is why he was.
No, if you're
mentioned.
like speaking slowly,
Well,
you're like
I'll tell you why.
fragola
Actually,
or-
I have a reason for this. Is because in Arabic we'd actually say it.
Or in Arabic you
Yeah,
say.
you wouldn't like go like mentioning all the flavors. You
Oh,
actually
okay.
say or.
Okay.
And this is why I said the story to address the fact that you go through all the languages that you know
Yeah,
in order
yeah,
to get to
yeah.
a certain
Yeah.
thing to say.
True.
It's
It's
a
a
bit
pain in the
confusing,
ass.
you know, but
And like for me, like what makes it worse is I have this another language, my tribe's language. It's called Kikuyu. I can't speak it, but I can understand it fully. So I just know like words here and there. So whenever like I'm back home, my grandmother is speaking to me or like other older women. They speak to me in Kikuyu, and there's once I legit replied in French. And like she looked at me like, obviously I'm not sure she knew it was French, but like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so
Well,
it's
I
very
don't know.
stressful. It's
For
very
me,
stressful.
I don't think this ever happened because I always speak Polish at home with my parents. So obviously, when my grandparents are are in our house, come to Ireland,
Okay, yeah.
it's because the house environment has Polish as the language. I don't really find myself using English at home.
At all? Oh, wow, okay.
Unless my parents come to me and is like, how would you say this in English, you know? I'm like,
but
most of the times it's impossible to translate.
But the thing is, why would you ever use English with your parents? If
I
all
use,
of you
I use
speak-
English with my parents. With my family, actually.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. we just-
Just this, yeah.
I mean, they speak to me in Kikuyu as well. And I like respond in English, but we usually speak English. Yeah. Swahili once in a while, but it's usually English. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Let's blame the English for that again.
Yeah.
The English cunts.
Yeah, the English can't.
You know, when I'm applying for a visa, I think they're gonna listen to this podcast. They're like a this you know? This you moment.
Like you're applying for a work permit or something. We saw that podcast you had there, and
Podcast. I don't even know what that is.
This is why maybe we should drop the video idea. Just
Yeah.
so that they have no proof at
Plausible
all. of how we look
deniability.
at-
Well, that's not me. That's some imposter there.
Yeah.
Who calls himself Brian.
There are many people called Brian.
No man, but his voice is very unique.
Distinct.
Yeah, man, it's very unique. They're gonna
And
catch his
sexy.
ass, definitely.
Yeah.
You cannot lie
So you
about
can
this.
wave away that work life in the UK, I guess.
Yeah.
You
Tough.
can go to Ireland. Like
Tough.
Jakub has been promoting me to.
Yeah,
go there.
same.
Just-
I think I
like,
will go
I
to
don't know
Ireland.
what's his plan, but I'm 100% considering it.
Yeah, we'll all go.
Hey, I don't have any plan. I'm just telling you. It's
Man, it might be just because you love us and you want us there next to you. Why not? Just say
Yeah.
that.
I think it's mostly that.
Yeah.
it
You
would
can
be nice,
imagine.
actually.
Can imagine
like,
a life without us.
in 10 years,
Oh.
and we're still doing this podcast, and we can actually meet up in the same room
What
and
the fuck?
record.
Have some
Do you know how
Yeah.
cringy it will be if like we're still doing the podcast after 10 years and for some reason we decide to listen to the first episode that we ever made?
Yeah.
It would be super cringy,
But,
man.
Not cringy. It would be nice. It would be nice. It would be funny. Yeah. It would be funny. Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, we were so stupid back then, you know. And it
Are
definitely.
we? I think it's a good conversation.
Well, yeah.
I think we'll
make
still
for
be
a good
stupid
episode.
even in the future. I don't think
True,
it's
but
something
like
you
once
shed off
once you
with
get a
age.
job, you know, you can settle down. Let's say. You change some of your perspectives.
No, man.
I don't
Once
think
a
so.
loser, always a loser.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, how many right decisions have you made in your life?
Oof,
Probably,
man, I can count them.
probably zero. Except
I can
except
count
the fact
them
that you're
on-
my friend now. It's like,
I can count them on my finger, man. When it comes to bad decisions I've made, oof, it's like I have
Countless times.
it's like I have a weekly quota, honestly. Yeah. I thought coming to Italy would reduce my clownery levels, but it's just
Just
at a very
increasing them.
steady,
He's very,
very consistent.
No, like once you
at bad
flat line
decisions.
and you have that flat line going on, it's very consistent.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like when things are going so bad and just like, fuck it. Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, I just might as well continue this clownery or whatever the fuck I'm doing.
Now, once you accept, it's just who you are as a person.
So,
Yeah.
so
Acceptance is the first
you
stage.
accepted that you're a clown.
Yeah.
You actually believe you're a clown.
I know I am.
Is that in a good way or in a bad way? By the way, I just want to make sure.
I mean, I'm happy with myself. so-
Because for
I
example,
mean, it's good for. I mean, I enjoy life.
yeah.
Like I find myself in very interesting situations. Maybe the other people don't find
Can
it
you
as
give us
funny.
an example?
That's for a later date. That's for a later date.
It's
Or
reserved for another time.
after Mojin has settled in. For security reasons, I can't. I can't go into detail.
Security reasons, confidential stuff.
Might wake up dead tomorrow, so
Mm.
let me keep that to myself.
Anyways, we'll have to move forward. So you'll have to introduce yourself.
Who me?
Yeah.
Oh yes, I am Brian.
I thought we just did this already.
Did we?
Yeah, I mean, this conversation was perfect for banter.
No, but to be honest, we should have introduced ourselves and then had this kind of conversation. But it's okay.
But didn't we introduce ourselves and then had the conversation? We did.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. You said you're from Ireland.
Yeah,
and
that's
Poland.
it. We carried away with the conversation.
Oh, right, this sort of introduction. I thought the
Yes,
introduction
yes.
with the names and all this.
Yeah,
It's
Like,
alright.
hello, my name is this, and blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
That's alright. It's alright. Go
Yes, yes. I'm Brian, as I said earlier.
Yours truly, Jakub.
I was speaking. You
Oh,
dumbass.
we're doing this again,
Jesus
man.
Christ! It's just been one drink.
Okay, continue,
Okay,
continue.
yes.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
Proudly Kenyan. Gin is my drink. Although honestly, I drink anything. That just comes with being Kenyan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
As long as it does the job.
Yes,
It's,
like,
it's getting into my system.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, I'm single. So for all my proud black
Yeah.
queens,
We'll leave
Sli-
all the
black specifically.
You're fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
slide into the DM,
We'll-
especially if you have a very big,
Very big.
a very big heart,
Nice,
a very
nice,
big
nice,
heart. Because what
nice.
matters is what's on the inside.
We'll leave Brian's Twitter handle in the show notes.
Yes, yes, we will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can check it out later on.
Yeah, and finally, it's me, Faris. I'm originally Egyptian, but I was born in Saudi Arabia. But I consider myself Egyptian. So, following this, let's move to our second segment of the podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about vaccines.
Yeah,
It's
It's
fairly,
like a-
fairly hot topic
yeah, it's a
on
very
the
hot
media
topic.
right now.
Yeah, with the new COVID vaccine set to be released.
Yeah, actually, there's
yeah.
a lot of companies working on vaccines. Right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Yeah.
This is why it's
There's a
important
lot.
to address this topic because so you'd be having like plenty of vaccines coming out like in a, like most of them in more or less the same time. So it would be better to, like, to have an idea so that you know what you're actually like which vaccine would be better taking.
Yeah.
So like I think it's an important topic to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, you want to tell us how vaccines work?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
So wait, to clarify, the three of us are medical students.
Oh yeah, we
So-
forgot to mention this.
Yes, we study in Italy.
some of us a bit more, some of us a bit less.
Yes, yes.
No, we're all on the same level. We're all medical students.
Yeah, so we have.
Unless this ends with this ends with a success, and we might have a career shift or something.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a very
like a
fun
radio
conversation
show.
with my parents. I'm like, so I'm dropping out of med school to speak into a microphone and drink all day. Yeah, they were so proud of you, son.
Title profession now.
Couldn't have been happier.
So basically, live the life.
Yeah.
And then on the side, you'll do some TV show and movie writing as you wanted
Exactly.
to do.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it's like fulfill the DJ and the bartender dream.
Right, anyway, we're getting a bit off topic
Oh
here.
yeah. So basically, as we all know that vaccines are important for immunity, in which you would administer into the body
Mhm.
a kind of an infectious agent
Mm.
that's either has been like its function deactivated or weakened.
Yes.
Okay, and therefore when it goes inside your body, it acts in the same way in which that a normal virus would actually act.
Mhm.
Okay, and therefore will
So
We'll
why
have-
doesn't it get you sick like a normal?
because as I said earlier, it's either the virus or the infectious agent basically is deactivated or it's weakened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not replicating as much in
Mhm.
order to cause you a disease or illness
Yeah.
or show any symptoms, even though sometimes it shows symptoms.
Yeah.
But the point is that basically, so when the infectious agent's inside your body carries an immune response and produces antibodies and memory cells with the antibodies. And these memory cells are the ones responsible for the immunity. Because whenever you contract the virus again, you can mount an immune response pretty quickly, and you can therefore defend yourself,
Mhm.
and any symptoms of the disease would show up.
Mm.
Yeah, that's it basically. Do you have anything to add, both of you?
For this topic, no. But speaking about the corona vaccine specifically,
Yeah.
So you probably all know that Pfizer, which is an American pharmaceutical company, is releasing a vaccine now. I think it's in stage 2 or 3
Yeah, stage 3.
trials now. Yeah.
Stage 3.
So now one interesting thing is how it has to be stored. I don't know if you guys saw.
Yeah.
It's a bit crazy. So it has to be stored at minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit, which is for all of the rest of the world, which are not American. It's
Was it Fahrenheit or
94
Celsius?
Fahrenheit, which is minus 70 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's
Should have just gone straight to the Celsius.
yeah,
because
Yeah.
Fahrenheit
anyways,
is ridiculous.
The,
Yeah.
the article I read was American.
Okay.
You know, these
Yeah, it's like
these
it's more or
Fahrenheit.
less, you know.
So anyway, so these vaccines have to be either stored in like basically a deep freezer. You can't just use any freezer because no freezer goes down to minus 70.
Yeah.
Or I saw a picture of the like how it's going to be packaged.
Yeah.
So in the box you'll have this like encasement from liquid nitrogen or something.
Yeah.
And then on top, so you'll have like 3 or 4 levels. You'll have basically 5,000 doses within a box.
Okay.
Because you'll have like vials of them on a level, and like 3-4 levels, 5,000 doses in general. So if they're stored within the box, they said they can be stored up to like 15 days. And then after that, you have to replace the liquid nitrogen, so all the cooling can still work.
But I think I read in an article on the Lancet that the virus can also be stored in a refrigerator for like 5 days.
The vaccine.
Yeah, the vaccine, sorry.
Yeah.
It could be stored in a refrigerator for
normal
like 5 days.
refrigerator?
Yeah, this is what I read, but only for 5 days. And this is why
Yeah.
it would be easier, you know, for the healthcare provider to actually
Yeah,
administer
well,
the vaccine.
To be honest, obviously Corona is big right now, so 5 days. If you have patients coming in and getting the vaccine all the time, and
Yeah.
okay, most of these vaccines are you have to take 2 doses within like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's like the first dose, like on day 0, let's say.
Pfizer, I think, has a 3-week time between the doses, and there's another company called Moderna, which is also, I think it's based in New York or something.
Mm-hmm.
They also have a mRNA or messenger RNA based vaccine.
Mhm.
However, their trials are taking longer because they're taking 4 weeks between the doses.
Yeah.
But still, even if it's stored for 5 days in a normal refrigerator, I think there'll be so many people going to get the vaccines.
I mean, they can obviously like improve storage facilities and construct them.
yeah,
Like it's
of
not such a
course.
big deal, especially with like how destructive COVID is.
I saw another statistic. So I think back in May in America, they did a poll
Yeah.
that around 70% people would be willing to take the vaccine.
That's actually surprising because America has like a really huge anti-vaxxer.
Yeah, and now it's funny because back in May, before the vaccine came out, or before there was proper trials for vaccines, around 70% people said that they'll be willing to take the vaccine.
Mhm.
Now that the vaccine is actually in proper trials,
Yeah, they're
and
like
there's
nah.
90% success rate, the poll went down to like 55%,
Yeah.
which makes no sense.
You know the study Faris spoke about, then you read on Lancet.
Yeah.
So like the majority of like the anti-vaxxer campaign came from a single paper that was actually published on the Lancet in like 1998. So this guy is called Andrew Wakefield.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he published a paper linking vaccines and autism. First of all, he only used 12 subjects, 12 children.
Yeah, which is a ridiculous
Yeah,
amount.
and
if you want to
he-
make a
and
sample
on top
rate,
of
use
using-
at least 100 people.
Yeah, on top of using like a ridiculously low sample amount, yeah. Like he messed with the results.
Yeah.
And eventually like he was disbarred, like he's not even a doctor anymore. That paper remained like on the website for 12 years before they finally like redacted it. But this entire campaign around anti-vaxxers stemmed from that one paper. And like despite like overwhelming evidence proving that there's no link between autism and vaccines, people still don't want to vaccinate their children. And like it's really crazy in the US because there was like a Facebook group where parents would basically like buy used lollipops and like pus-soaked clothes,
Use
and then
lollipops.
and then try and infect their children with chicken
My
pox.
God, they're trying to achieve natural immunity.
Yeah,
My God.
and the most ridiculous thing is you can't even spread chicken pox through saliva.
Yeah.
So they're essentially just giving their children new infections
That-
instead of using a
exactly.
vaccine, which is scientifically proven. It's actually quite mad.
Yeah, but like even if you look at side effects from vaccines, they usually happen in a very small percentage of people.
Yeah, it's-
That's
yeah, it's very
ridiculous.
small, it's very
how,
small.
How people can take the risk of their child not getting a vaccine and then getting infected with. a
But you know-
random disease, you know.
But usually the thing is usually people who are anti-vaccines, the reason they are anti-vaccines is because they actually experience some of these reactions. So for example, I had a kid and I took my kid to the hospital to give him all the vaccinations, you get me?
Yeah.
And then he developed an allergic reaction, okay? So the problem is only with my kid. My kid has an allergy towards this vaccination. And this is why me personally, I'm anti-vaccine right now. But the problem here is not about them. It's about them becoming activists and going around
And
asking,
telling
yeah.
people this is what will
And
happen
this
to
is
your
this
kids.
is the misinformation. This
Yeah.
is where the bomb starts
but
ticking.
like, I don't
And
know,
you know,
about you
it's-
guys, but when for us, when they give us vaccines, they tell us exactly what allergens there is in the vaccine. So if there's eggs or other stuff, some proteins that could be allergenic.
Yeah.
Usually you get told about this. So you get told what possible allergens there is in the vaccines.
But it's not just about the allergens. Like some of them actually are against the idea that the vaccines contain some chemicals. For example,
Yeah.
aluminium. Even though the vaccine contains less amount of aluminium than
That would
than
produce
breast
a
milk
toxic-
or even than formula milk.
Yeah.
But for some reason they still oppose it as if it's something fatal to the baby.
I really find the anti-vaxxer movement interesting, and like whenever I see people acting dumb, I'm like, I actually like want to listen to their point of view, because if you just dismiss them, like we're going to be doctors one day, so you need to like speak to these people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like with autism, the problem is, so this guy, Andrew Wakefield, the one who published this paper that just fucked like the whole vaccination field. So the link between autism, he made it with the MMR vaccine, which is a vaccine for measles,
Measles,
mumps,
yeah.
and rubella.
Yeah.
Rubella is German measles.
Yeah.
Now, measles is extremely infectious. If you're not vaccinated and you get exposed, there's like a 90 to 95% chance you get it. And like right now, there's like an outbreak in Europe and even in the US. And funny enough, there seems to be like a link between anti-vaxxer movements and like populist political movements. You look at Trump and the US, like vaccination is at an all-time low.
Yeah.
Look at the UK, Boris Johnson, vaccination is at an all-time low. And then now with autism, you give the MMR vaccine at around 12 months.
Yeah.
Which is around the time you start getting diagnosable symptoms of autism. So people say this, that like, my child became autistic after he got the
Having a vaccine.
Yeah, but they're already
Yeah.
autistic. You just couldn't tell because they're too young. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think it also depends on your parents' perspective.
Oh, of course, because the child has no control over
Exactly.
this. But
So
like
if-
one of the things that also like anti-vaccine parents oppose is that the amount of vaccinations.
The number of vaccines.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And like even
Which
Trump-
is true. Like the number of vaccinations have increased, but what
Yeah,
people
but then
don't
again-
realize, the number of antigens has reduced.
in the
Because-
vaccine.
Yeah, because
Yes.
their antigens are basically what evokes the immune response in your body.
To cause
So,
an allergy.
Yeah. So like the vaccine for whooping cough.
No.
Yeah.
It's called
Pertussis.
yeah.
Pertussis. So the earlier vaccine had about 3,000 antigens. The one that's used right now has a maximum of 5. Like that is a huge ass difference. So you're getting more vaccines in total, but you're getting much fewer antigens like exposed to your children.
Yeah.
But obviously, like trying to reason with an anti-vaxxer doesn't really get you anywhere.
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is, it's not just
Yeah.
about them being anti-vaxxers.
Yeah.
Like for example, talking about the ex-president of the United States.
Yes. X.
Yeah.
it feels fantastic
Which
to say
X?
that.
You mean Trump?
Yeah. So
Well,
Trump.
he's not X yet until he concedes.
Trump, as usual,
that's
Trump
true.
Trump went. He had a conference, and then Trump, as usual, says something stupid, and he goes like, "Babies are not horses." Or
Yeah. I saw that
What?
interview. So he was saying that there are too many vaccines right now,
Yeah.
and they're given like such huge, massive. You know how he speaks. Like enough to give a horse, and he's like, babies are not horses. I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that. Like that's one of the few
Yeah, I mean, one of them has
true things he
2
says.
legs, the other one has 4 legs. I mean, I don't see the similarity
yeah.
here.
I mean, you cannot deny
You can
what
argue
he
with
said,
that.
but
Yeah,
you just
it's
like,
true. Technically, it's true.
So,
It's irrelevant. It's true.
Yeah, so-
he has
so-
a good. It's a good point, but then again, they can't just.
Yeah,
can't
so
compare. Like,
so this is what I was talking about, and this is what Brand was saying. Is that the problem is not about the people being anti-vaxxers, like being pro-safe in a way that
and
I don't want to.
misinformation, like
Yeah, exactly.
with the internet, there's just so much misinformation out there, and
Yeah.
it's like people prefer to be misled than actually like look at facts.
proper articles,
Yeah.
you know, by some.
But it's really worrying, like
actual news websites.
like it's really worrying, like for the public health, like for the world, yeah.
Yeah, because it just doesn't affect your kid.
Because
or
like
whatever,
polio was almost wiped out, but
And
it's
then, yeah.
it's made a resurgence like a few years back in the US, you know.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
And like I was reading that there are only like 2 diseases we've managed to completely wipe out. By completely, I mean they will never come back, and that's smallpox and what was the other one? Right, I don't remember the other one, but like smallpox and there's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's because of vaccinations.
Well, yeah.
So like there's before the smallpox vaccine was produced and like started being used, I think it was killing like about 2 million people a year with like 10 million new infections. And then within a decade of using the vaccine, it went down to 0 cases, which is like super impressive. Yeah.
But for the smallpox, you had to like, because I remember watching a documentary about this. Like it was super difficult because you'd have to go to every specific house.
Yeah. Like I saw that like in India they went to every single house.
Yeah.
And like India has 1 billion people, so you can
It's-
imagine every single
It's
household.
even more now.
And they kept going more. They had to go like monthly. Was
Yeah,
it monthly
exactly.
or-
And they kept going on for like years, and it's so sad. Like after all this effort, you'd find people actually denying how important and
Vaccines
how
are.
powerful the vaccines are.
They're denying the effectiveness of vaccines.
Yeah.
Basically.
And you know, like Brian was talking about this, about the way that you would actually react to an anti-vaxxer. Is that sometimes I think that the hostility that they receive.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Because if you're a doctor and then someone comes with their child and then you ask them like, have they been immunized? They're like, no, I don't believe in vaccines. You can't start calling them a dumbass because you're just going to antagonize them even more.
Yeah, but
So you have to listen to their concerns. Like what I said about autism. Like you tell them like that's correlation, it's not causation.
Yeah,
so you listen to their concerns and then try and explain to them.
But like, even if you're not a doctor, how do you you can't really argue with an anti-vaxxer because even if you give them facts, they just deny them.
Yeah, the
But
problem
you have
about
to-
anti-vaxxers
yeah.
is that they're not like medically and evidence-based.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the thing is, they're about their feelings. They're about, I believe this does this. I believe this does this.
It's not like
It's like flat earthers, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
exactly.
It's
There's
not, their opinions are not based
Yeah.
on facts. They're
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
opinions
it's like-
based on their own opinions, really, like their own
just
beliefs.
to digress a bit, since I mentioned flat earthers,
Yeah.
I watched this video where a guy was trying to prove that the earth is indeed flat. So he set up an experiment where he puts like 2 planks of wood
Yeah.
with like a hole like at the same level. So if the earth is flat, if he shoots like a beam of light, like they measure like a
It
distance.
should be going through the whole.
Yeah,
right?
and like show on another screen.
Yeah.
But if the earth is round, like the light, you'd have to like move the board up in order to see
of
the
course,
light.
Yeah.
So they measured everything,
Right,
set
but-
it up, went out at night, and then someone shot the light at him actually. And then he has like a walkie-talkie and he's like, is the light on? The guy's like, yeah. It's like, are you sure? It's like, yeah. And then he moves the board up and then the light comes. Then it's like, no, this isn't right. Like,
You see, like
your
they-
experiment has just proven that you're wrong.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but like he would accept it.
But exactly,
Live
this
on
is what's wrong
TV.
with
This is
people
on
here.
national TV. You're proved to be an idiot.
Yeah. I don't get people that like they prove themselves wrong, but they still try to believe in what they believe in.
Yeah.
No, but to be honest, at
Doesn't make
least flat earthers, man, they're not harming anyone. But the
Yeah,
anti-vaxxers,
they're not.
they
okay,
are.
true,
You
yeah.
get me?
Anti-vaxxers
Yeah.
actually
And you know,
they have
like,
an impact on society.
Exactly,
because people
exactly.
can get these diseases.
and you know, like
Exactly.
one of the most dangerous things about anti-vaxxers, it's kind of like when people refuse to wear masks right now.
Yeah.
It's not just for your own protection.
Exactly.
You have to protect others. So there are many like immunocompromised people. Let's say they have like an autoimmune disease or they're sick.
Immune deficiency.
Yeah,
basically,
exactly. They can't be given vaccines because the vaccines
Yeah.
will get them sick. the way to protect them is if everyone around them is vaccinated.
Yeah, that's herd immunity, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, exactly. So you have these guys who refuse to get vaccinated and then transmit the disease to someone who wants to but can't get vaccinated. Yeah. So it's actually quite serious.
Yeah, and this is why flat earthers, you can just do whatever you want.
I find them entertaining,
Flat
honestly. Yeah.
earthers.
They're actually quite
Flat
entertaining.
earthers,
I love watching
do
flat
what you
earther
want,
videos.
because at least you're not hurting the society. So just do what you want.
You know something else that actually like talking about the fact about some people decide to believe instead of actually relying on facts.
Yeah.
It's like, remember when Greta Thunberg came and where she was talking about climate change, of course,
Yeah.
and she said that the problem about the US is that they look at climate change
As a political issue.
as a
as
Not
something
as
that
facts.
you, yeah, exactly.
Because politicians come up and they're like, I believe in climate change. And I'm like, that's not something
You believe in it's a fact.
It's a fact. It's
Yeah.
like saying, I believe 1 + 1 is 2. I'm like, do we need to clap for you?
Yes,
No. Like,
I don't believe 1 + 1 is 2. I believe it's.
and you'd probably get elected in the
7,
US.
8.
Yeah, that's how Trump got elected.
Yeah, that's true. So,
Yeah.
so like final thoughts about the vaccine thing is like, in my opinion, if someone is like, for example, because the only reason they do all this, the only reason anti-vaxxers exist, is because they've seen some allergic reactions to their kids. Okay.
Or seen a Facebook post.
yeah.
Actually, I think
And
this is
Facebook,
more,
yeah,
social
it's
media
mostly
has more
social
to do
media.
with it than just actually seeing.
You
the
have like a lot
results.
of unchecked
True,
false
true,
information
that's true.
circling around.
But like an analogy I had in mind, like people who are, if I'm allergic to peanuts,
Yeah.
I don't go around like become an anti-peanut.
Peanuts are bad.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
I just
Anti-peanuts.
I just agree to the fact that I just cannot eat peanuts. You get
but
me?
other people can. It's fine.
Yeah, true. Makes sense.
We can move on to the
Yeah.
podcast and chill.
I think that's enough for vaccines for one day. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So next topic is our 80s movie.
Yes.
that we
Brewster's
told
Millions.
everyone, Brewster's Millions.
Actually,
That was my
quite
suggestion.
interesting.
I watched it as a kid, and for some reason, I never forgot anything about the movie. Like I watched it once when I was like 7, and like the name, the plot, the characters, everything like was so fresh in my mind. But I really like the movie. I really like it.
Yeah, I liked
Yeah.
it too. It was great, but something that honestly, I just felt so dumb after I was done with the movie because like, you know me, I'm not really that familiar with like actors in the 80s and stuff like that. Usually,
Richard
like,
Pryor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't know he's Richard Pryor, and I've been watching the whole movie thinking he's Steve Harvey.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Anyway, so
I don't even know what to say.
Okay, so for
So
those
we
those who haven't watched the movie,
You can explain the plot
yeah,
real quick.
yeah.
To explain, I was about to.
go ahead. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
for anyone that hasn't watched the movie, it's so there's this baseball player.
Yeah, in the minor leagues. Like he's
And,
not
yeah,
a big.
He's not
he's
in like the
semi-pro,
Semi-pro,
semi-amateurish. Yeah.
And at some point, his great uncle or something
Yeah,
like
great
this.
uncle.
Yeah.
Who's a white guy for some reason.
Yeah,
The
okay.
main character is Richard Pryor,
Yeah.
and then his great uncle is a white guy.
Some random white
Yeah,
guy, exactly. He tells him you have 30 days to spend.
So the uncle died, and then left a will.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's like, you have 30 days to spend $30 million.
Mhm.
And
But there's a catch.
there's
if
a
you
few
su-
catches. Yeah.
If you succeed in spending the 30 million, you get 300 million.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
If you don't succeed, you get nothing. You can't keep any of the 30 million, and you get none of the 300 million.
And
Yeah, and you
however,
cannot-
there's a
Yeah,
side
there are rules.
you can either go for the 30 million and try to succeed or not succeed, or he said like, okay, you don't have to do this, and he gave him $1 million as inheritance basically, so he can
And
get
called it
either
the
1
win.
million, just walk away with the 1 million,
Yeah.
or try to spend $30 million in 30 days.
Yeah.
Now
And then there are rules to
there are
the
rules
game.
to
Yeah.
it, yeah.
So you can't tell anyone that you have to spend this 30 million to get 300 million.
Yeah.
People just know you got $30 million. You can't buy any assets. You can't buy cars. You can't buy property.
yeah.
You can't buy assets and then destroy them.
Yeah.
Like you buy a painting then destroy it. So you can't destroy anything of value, basically.
Exactly.
What was the other rules?
Basically,
Anything
has
else?
he
That's-
just he
that's
has
basically
has to
it, I
come
think.
back with like just his shirt.
Zero.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
Can't wear any clothes that he didn't have at that point
Exactly,
in time. So
Yeah.
there's a specific set of clothes that he had on, and he has to come back.
So
Yeah.
basically,
Exact same way.
the same way he walked in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
He should come back 30 days
Penniless,
later. Yeah, exactly.
penniless with no property.
Exactly.
And this great uncle wanted him to hate spending money. That's what he said. I'm going to make you hate spending money.
A great way, like
Yeah.
the thing with the cigar, it was
Yeah.
crazy. Like I'm sure this, like because so it happened the way he got the idea about making him spend all this money in such a short period of time
yeah.
is because his father one day caught him smoking
The
a
great
cigar.
uncle, yeah?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the father of the great uncle caught him one day smoking a cigar, and to punish him in order to make him hate doing such thing, he locked him in a room with a pack of cigar, no food, no water, nothing, until he smoked every small bit of cigar.
Yeah,
And this made him hate smoking cigars, and he never did it again.
yeah.
I was actually like after actually seeing
Actually-
this part, I was like, I'm actually gonna do this with my kids.
When
Make,
That's-
make them
it's-
smoke
When you
cigars in
speak
a
of
room.
this, when you speak of
Sorry,
this,
just make them suffer. Make them,
this is,
make
That'll
them
be a
hate
wonderful
whatever they're
father.
doing.
no, this is a good thing. Well, not a good thing, but smoking
So,
is a good.
wait.
But,
So if you caught your son having sex
Yeah.
and he's like 16 or something, you're gonna lock him in a room full of women.
no, okay, come on.
No, but this way I would get.
Exactly.
Listen,
Okay,
it
first of all,
doesn't matter how amazing something is.
Sex is part of life.
I mean,
It's natural
you're a
thing,
smoker, so smoking is also part of life.
Yeah, no, okay, but smoking, okay, sex doesn't harm you in any way unless you're stupid and you manage to get an STD of some sort.
Yeah, but like some parents don't want the underage kids.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
So then don't get caught.
Yeah, no, I was
No, but
asking
we're
about his
actually-
logic. I was asking about his logic.
Yeah, and I get you.
Yeah, if he finds his kids doing something he doesn't want them to do, he's gonna like do the cigar thing.
But I don't mind this.
It doesn't
because-
work with every.
Listen,
Can you
if-
imagine if you find them drinking? You lock them in a room with alcohol.
Listen, but having
It's
having a
crazy.
sexual life is healthy. I would actually like tell my kid, listen, as soon as you're able to maintain a healthy sexual relationship,
Start.
go ahead.
You'll say that to your daughter as well.
Yeah, why not?
You will.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, why not? Why not?
No, I mean you should. You should
I
treat
don't know, I feel like
your
parents-
sons
See,
and
because isn't it unfair? So let's say, for example, by the time I have kids, I have a boy and a daughter, okay? And I tell the boy, listen, go do whatever you want, you know?
Go
wet
forth
your
and
biscuit
replicate.
wherever
Go
you
forth and
want.
replicate.
You get me? In every cup of milk, go wet your biscuit. And the poor daughter is like, she just locked home.
yeah, no, I agree. You should treat them equally, but
And the point
That's-
is,
that's
I
not
still
what
feel,
usually
okay,
happens.
Me having a sister, okay, even though she's still a bit young, she's like 10. I feel like parents are a bit more protective of a daughter rather than they are of a son.
yeah, in general.
because they tend to be like, I think, broken easier because they tend to be
What?
they also tend to be attached easier.
Women tend to be broken easier.
Yeah, and they
Oh,
also
wow,
tend to be
let's-
attached easier.
That's not necessarily
Come
true.
on, how many times have you like gotten with a girl and then you just like no, you know? But
Never.
but on the
never.
other side,
I have
on the
very
other side,
wholesome-
she's super
I have
attached.
very wholesome interactions with women. We get attached equally. We end on genial terms. You
Going
know.
back to Brewster's Millions now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
see,
yeah.
for me, like if I got told, okay, you have 30 million. Okay, actually, first of all, if we look at the inflation rates, $30 million today is equal to around
About 70,
$72
yeah.
million.
Yeah.
So imagine spending $72 million these days, and like today, within 30 days,
But like you're
without acquiring any asset of any sort. Okay.
one
It's
of the
crazy.
hardest things about what he had to do is that he couldn't tell anyone.
Exactly. That's
So
the
all
hard
his
thing.
friends
We're
and
trying to,
family
yeah.
are watching someone who was basically poor
Yeah.
inherit 30 or let's say
Million.
$70 million
Yeah, in these
today
days.
and just squander it in a month.
Exactly.
They legit thought he was crazy.
Exactly.
They had to
Yeah,
get like
it's man-
psychiatric help.
The part where they got him $10 million.
Yeah.
So
I was
he
Man,
he was trying.
don't spoil. People want to watch this.
But listen,
We're
they
doing
should
a
have
review.
watched
What are
it
you talking?
already,
What do you
yeah.
mean those for?
Of course, maybe someone who hasn't watched the whole thing. Anyways,
So he tried to gamble some of the money away. So he told this bookie like bet on all the wild cards. Is that what you call
Yeah.
them?
yeah.
And then to bet on like some random college field
Yeah,
hockey game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then this guy comes back like let's say like 20 minutes into the movie, he comes back and gives him $10 million.
Yeah.
Like he
No,
won,
wait,
he
wait.
won every single bet.
But this 10 million
And this
was
whole
from
time-
the investment with like the financial advisor, no?
No, that's a different one. But the guy who gambled the money made
Yeah.
about 10 million, and that basically set him back to
Where you started.
yeah
off
to
from.
where he started from, because he had spent 10
Yeah,
million before
yeah,
that,
yeah,
and then
Yeah,
yeah.
it was honestly, it was
Like,
heartbreaking.
I actually, when I watched this movie, I thought what I would do. Okay.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
wanted to
naturally,
ask you
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah. So what I would do, I think, like the first day that I get to 30 minutes, I just sit down and think of every single way I could spend the money, without letting anyone
Okay,
know.
so
Now I thought about this today as well. You could technically buy assets.
And sell them with a
Now-
very low price.
Not about selling.
I was gonna do
You
this.
would, the assets would be under yours name or your name. They're not mine then technically, yeah. So I could buy a piece of land.
no, but you're
under
still
your
you're
name.
still buying it.
Yeah,
it doesn't
but,
matter. No,
but I don't own it in the end.
no, it doesn't matter who's.
It wasn't specified in the rules.
No,
that
they
much.
told him they didn't say if the asset is in your name. They said you cannot buy assets.
No, but he was able to buy. Like
So,
for example, with the
A
stamp.
loophole.
The stamp counts as an
Yeah.
asset, but the fact that he
But he
mailed
used
it,
it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it
it's
is
not
destroyed.
his anymore.
Now, since I'm
A loophole you
na-
can find for the assets is, I mean, you have people you can trust.
Yeah.
So like, let's say like for me, I got 30 million. I give my brother like 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not going to spend it. Of course, he's going to invest it and buy assets.
Yeah.
So at the end of the 30 days, even if I don't manage to spend it, I'll still have assets, and I'll go and tell him.
True, but now this is a thing.
no,
like,
but this is why he was like there was an accountant running after him
yeah.
to make sure that none of these money like
Yeah, like
it
you
remains
hire.
at the end. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so
But-
you
but thing is,
hire
you mentioned
someone
this, you
like
mentioned
like
this.
the best friend. So when Brewster got the money, he made the best friend the vice president.
Yeah.
And what was his salary? I don't remember.
100,000 a
weekly,
week or
I guess.
something.
Yeah, but
somewhere
probably
around
gave
those.
him like more money, like
Yeah.
here and there. Like towards the end, when he was broke, like he
Yes.
came up to Bruce and he's like, "Don't worry, buddy. I barely spent any of the money you gave me, apart from like some of these suits.
Mm.
I saved all of it. So like we'll get a car, we'll drive off, blah blah. We'll be good." Yeah. So if you actually like give money to people you trust. Oh wait, we didn't mention another thing about the rules. So you're allowed to hire people as long as they're offering some kind of service. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Because you can't just randomly give people money for
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now,
So
there's also like that 5% you give away to charity.
5%,
and
yeah.
5%
For
for
gambling.
gambling. So basically,
Yeah.
he could.
so you hire
Get rid
people.
of
You hire
3
people you
million
trust. You can't tell
easily.
them what you're doing, but like obviously you pay them like a lot of money.
Yeah.
They'll have the money in the end. Yeah. But what? Yeah.
But now, like,
continue.
the way you said, like, you could give your brother like 15 million to go invest. Isn't that technically against the rules? Because
No,
you're
it's-
using money.
I'll hire him. I'll hire him to do something. He's a lawyer, so I'll be like, "This is my lawyer." So I'll go
Yeah.
around. I'll like go and punch Faris, then he sues me. You know,
Mm.
we settle out of court.
Like he did with the presidents in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
the-
you hire.
for the mayor election in New York.
Oh, this one was crazy. This one-
Yeah, the election was a huge.
choose none of the above. None of the above.
But the thing is, his arguments made sense. I was like,
Yeah, he
you're
did,
actually,
he
yeah,
did.
actually making some
Yeah.
sense, right?
What I would do, and I can't believe he didn't think about this. Why not just educate children and kids? Like pay off student loans.
debt and all this.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're not offering you a service this way, are they?
Oh, that's true.
I mean, technically, they are offering a service to the community.
No,
by
you could say,
hopefully
you know how
after
like
their-
companies, because he had a company.
Yeah.
So in some companies, they'll pay for your education as long as you go and work for them afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And they don't count as assets
Yeah.
because they'll be employees. Those are not assets.
Yeah, exactly. Employees can give you extra training and all this.
And you know
They
how
pay for the
high
training.
like student loans are in the US.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
pay for this college education. Pick like 10 unis, you'll be done.
Yeah.
Actually,
well, I
that's-
think one uni would be enough. Honestly, in America, by
one,
American
yeah.
standards, one uni would be enough.
Actually, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's weird that you guys thought about these stuff. I just thought about one thing.
Yeah.
It's going around buying shit ton of houses and selling them for like $1 or something.
Dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that could work. as
Yeah,
well.
technically.
Yeah, I was like, and
Because
because
at the end of
you'd
the
be left
30,
to-
yeah, you won't have any assets.
Yeah, or like you'd have some cash on you, but you can literally pay it for like a taxi cab or something.
Yeah,
like
but you know, like.
But I'm
the-
sure there must have been a rule about, like the rule about assets wasn't very clear.
Yeah,
Because
it's
I
very general.
I
You just
wanted the
can't
same
have
thing. Like,
assets.
why not just buy and then sell for cheap? They never
Yeah.
said you couldn't do that, which is a massive loophole.
But then again, like, isn't that sort of tying into the gambling part?
How is it a gamble? Because you're buying an
Well,
asset.
it's not exactly a gamble, but you're like consciously knowing that you're losing money by directly doing it.
Yeah, but okay.
By directly buying an asset and then selling it for a lot less.
Whether you're conscious or not of losing money, this does not make it gambling.
I mean,
does
he
it?
hired some random guy to be a photographer.
Yeah,
True.
so he
10,000
knew
a
he was
week.
losing
Yeah.
money.
Okay. So I guess going by this, it's fine.
That's
But,
like, I think.
but
I
let's
think
let's assume like we're not trying to like win the game per se, and you've just been given 30 million to spend.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Okay. As I said, I'd sit down. First day, I'd sit down and just think of every single
So
way.
you'd leave the building, come home, and sit down and just start.
Yeah,
talking.
yeah. Because I think
that'd be
this-
so sad. Man,
that's-
I got.
hey,
I
listen.
look
got.
at it. Look at it.
The
any
moment,
you want,
the moment
but
I
if you-
walk out of the office, I'm calling my friends. I'm like, listen, I'm buying alcohol. I'm buying food.
Man,
Bring
listen.
your friends. Bring
Hey.
your friends.
You could do this. You're wasting a whole night by maybe spending what 50K.
Yeah, and having an amazing night, man. You have to
Yeah,
celebrate.
sure. Yeah,
Man, listen,
yeah,
listen,
okay.
Jakub.
You have
Jakub.
29 days.
I'll just say one thing. You got this mic. You couldn't sit your ass for like an hour without using it.
Sure,
You want
okay,
you want
maybe-
to convince me that you will have 30 million on hand and come back home and just sit down.
Hey,
He goes into his room.
it's harder when you have to spend the 30 million without getting any profit back. Yeah, because if I got 30 million, I'd invest right now, but I can't. In this situation, I'm not allowed to invest.
Yeah, but
I have
you-
to spend it.
No, but he said that.
What I'm saying
forget
is,
about the
like
rules.
forget about the rules. Like the aim here isn't to just finish.
like
to get
without,
10
without,
million.
without all the
You've
rules.
been given 30 million and you've been told spend it.
Okay, without the 300 million at the end.
Ignore the rules. You've been given 30 million. Just spend the money.
Right.
Yeah. So like you
Of
leave
course
that.
I'm gonna
office.
go out. I'm
Okay.
gonna throw a massive party somewhere.
Okay. That's what I'm wondering. Like, where would you go home and then?
No,
sit
no,
down
no.
and,
Like, if
I'm
there's no
gonna-
guarantee of having 300 million at the end,
Yeah.
or any rules that like you're just given 30 million, do what you want with it, yeah.
Mm.
You spend it within 30 days. Of course, I'm gonna go out and do whatever the fuck I want. I'd buy a car, buy some real estate.
What I wondered about Brewster's millions, it did not occur to him to travel out of the country. The guy was
why
in New
would
York the whole time.
He,
You can spend so
yeah,
much
but-
money traveling.
Sure, but
Get a
also,
private
he
jet.
takes
you
up
you would be
time.
wasting time
a
traveling
lot
as
of
well.
time.
You'd be wasting time, but there are hotels that are like super expensive.
Of course, but
Everything
let's say you
is-
go to, I don't know, Dubai, yeah, and
Yeah.
you spend whatever amount of money.
Although technically he was in New York, and New York
Exactly,
is like one of the
like
most
he
expensive
did,
places.
he did
Exactly.
rent out like the 2 top floors of a hotel somewhere.
Yeah,
Sh-
that's
Sheraton, I guess, if I'm not mistaken.
whatever it was called. So
Yeah,
he
I
spent
think he was
like $1 million a
he was
month,
paying
I
like
think he-
100,000 a week or something.
No, that was okay. So when he got to the hotel,
Mm.
the guy said, "Oh, our top 2
It's
floors
been-
are
it's been-
occupied.
yeah.
The person is paying 100,000 a week," and he
Mm.
They
goes
give him
like
a million, yeah.
million
I
per
give him a
month,
million.
and he's
Yeah,
like,
in cash.
"Sign here."
Yeah,
cash, yeah, exactly.
Crazy shit.
So I mean, if you were the hotel manager, whoever it was that gave
Yeah.
you $100,000 a week, this guy gives you like 2.5 times that.
Yeah, yeah.
So you tell the first guy, sorry,
Honestly,
bro,
just
you can
like-
go fuck off. There's a hotel, around the corner.
For just like, even if it's just one day in my life, even if it takes me years to save, I just want to stunt. Like, I don't care about what I'm spending. Like, I go to a
Yeah.
restaurant, I'm like, all the food is on me.
Yeah.
Food, alcohol, whatever. You go to like a club, drinks on me.
Right, like,
You
it
had the
was-
whole thing.
It was so funny how people used to use him. Like the guy
Yeah.
hit him from the back as soon as he knew his name.
Oh, yeah.
Because, oh my legs! Oh my.
Yeah, like
They get
everyone
a
knew
heart
him
attack.
while he was spending money, but the second the 30 days are over, no one knew who.
Yeah, even
who,
like
like
at the end
He
of
just
the
walked in the streets.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
At
And
the
no
end
one
of
could
the movie, I
recognize
was
him.
expecting the.
It was quite a sad ending.
Mm.
No,
Yeah.
it was.
No,
it was a
before-
good
before-
No,
ending.
it's,
It was a
it
great
is a
ending.
bit of a sad thing because people look at you. If you look at the movie, people just looked at you while you had money and appreciated you because you keep helping out. The second
It
he
was a
was
sad
broke,
movie, yeah.
basically.
Yeah, everyone just, apart
Everyone
from his
just
friend who was there
basically
from
didn't
the
think
beginning.
about him
To
at
be
all.
honest, like this is how it is. If you weren't my friend and you have money and you're giving me money, you keep supplying you with money, I love you. Once you're broke, I don't give a shit, man.
Yeah, so it's like social commentary.
Yeah.
And another thing I noticed, like one of the underlying themes, like this guy was a millionaire.
Yeah.
And he was actively trying to lose money, but it was extremely difficult. So it's basically like rich people in the world right now. Even if they try, they will only get richer. Even if they try and lose money, they can't because they have so much. You can invest in like 1,000 things, you'll still earn like 100 million.
Amazing, that's an amazing point.
But like poor people, you make one mistake and you're fucked. Like you're on the street. But the rich always get richer. Like the game is rigged. Brilliant. The game is rigged for the rich, basically.
Yeah. So whatever you invest in.
So actually, it's actually like watch it as an adult. I was like, this is actually a sad movie. Like. I know Richard Pryor is like very charismatic. He's a terrible actor, but he's very charismatic. Man, you liked him. You wanted him to win, you know.
Yeah.
But like the ending, like before he eventually got the 300 million. But like that night, the morning he woke up, and like they're taking his clothes away.
Yeah.
The hotel manager is kicking him out.
Furniture out. And
and then he's just walking on the street with his old baseball jersey. No one is even talking to him.
Like, you know,
no one would even offer to pay a cab for him.
Exactly. I was just gonna say this. I was expecting the guy to offer him a cab, but they just let him walk.
Yeah.
You don't have any money now, so just fuck off, basically.
And this Warren bitch.
Yeah, man, such a fucking snake. Honestly,
he's a piece of shit.
Have you watched
Seventh Heaven?
No.
It was like this American drama series, and then he was the dad. Like, cause when I saw him, I was like, this guy looks familiar. Yeah, he's in a show called Seventh Heaven. Yeah.
Anyways, so
I haven't seen the show.
I think we can wrap it up here for the first episode.
Before ending the episode, it's for any of you who wants to check any of the updates about the COVID-19 vaccine. There is this website. It's called RAPS, Regulatory Affairs. Wait, I forgot one second. I have it here in my notes. Regulatory Affairs, something.
Actually, I suggest Bloomberg as well, because you read one article and it just extends.
One second. Just let me put this on. Regulatory Affairs Professional Society. It's like continuously updated news about the COVID-19 vaccine. If any of you would like to be updated, I would also add it in our show notes. It was it's the Liquor Talking, and this was our first episode.
Yes, remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Hopefully it'll be
at Liquor.
It's talking.
It's not Liquor Talking.
Liquor is talking. How don't we know our handles?
I don't think you're doing very well. I think it's Liquor Talking.
I think
Instagram.
I think Liquor is talking.
Liquor is talking on Instagram.
Liquor is talking.
And,
my
Twitter is
bad.
probably the same.
And I think I'm the one who created this.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was surprising you didn't write
Liquor is talking, and we'll have this up on YouTube as well. Hopefully.
YouTube.
If nothing goes wrong.
If you want to see us three idiots talking.
Call yourself an idiot.
What?
Speak for yourself.
If you want to see my idiocy talking on this podcast,
and
just go on YouTube.
Two wise men.
Yeah, exactly. Especially you, since you're the oldest.
This wise man in front of us here. Old man, the old B or whatever we wanted to call him.
Old B.
Yeah.
No, man, don't do him this bad.
He's young at heart. Let's give him this.
Anyways, it's the Liquor Talking. This was the Monday episode. First time, we'll be seeing you next week. Stay tuned.
Hopefully next week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a wrap.
Yep.